Welcome back to The Time of Your Life. I'm your host, Ethel Rasmussen. In our final segment of the show, Kathleen Koenig-Stoffel, manager of the Caregiver Support Program at the Baltimore County Department of Aging, will be sharing information on the upcoming Spring Caregiver Conference. Kathleen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ethel. I'm happy to be here.
Many people provide care for family and friends as informal caregivers, making caregiving a public health issue that affects the quality of life for millions of individuals in the United States. Kathleen, can you further explain what caregiving is, what it does involve, and who are caregivers?
Sure. Caregiving refers to the act of providing assistance and support to individuals who are unable to care for themselves fully due to age, illness, or disability. Caregivers often help with activities of daily living, or ADLs, such as bathing, toileting, or managing medications. They can also be taking individuals to the grocery store or making meals for them, as well as taking them to doctor's appointments. Many individuals find themselves caring for a spouse, a friend, a neighbor, a parent after an illness or an accident or a chronic disease diagnosis. Many times the care recipients live alone, and caregiving takes place long distance, or it involves multiple caregivers. Caregivers can also be an older relative, such as a grandparent. Grandparents are vital in the role of taking care of grandchildren, but many times they become the primary caregiver for those children.
Why is it important to have programs like BCDA's Caregiver Support Program?
It is very important to have programs in place like the Caregiver Support Program because caregivers need a place to find support. Their lives can be overwhelming due to the stress of caregiving, and often caregivers need to leave their jobs in order to care for loved ones at home. The National Family Caregiver Support Program is in place, for it provides grants to states and territories to fund a variety of programs to support these family members and informal caregivers so that older adults can stay in their homes as long as possible. The program also supports older relatives, including parents, who care for children and adults age 18 to 59 with disabilities. The supports in place include counseling, information about available services, assistance to caregivers in gaining access to these services, and caregiver training. The program also helps caregivers apply for financial support through a stipend respite program, which allows the caregiver to get a break, or helps them obtain medical supplies not covered under insurance. Family caregivers present a unique needs and preferences for all types of programs and services, and we strive to provide these services within the community. In addition, the Dementia Friendly Baltimore County initiative is housed under the Caregiver Support Program in order to support caregivers and those living with dementia.
The Caregiver Spring Mini Conference designed to provide family caregivers tips, tools, and resources to continue in their role providing the best care possible. What can our audience get excited to learn from the conference?
This year's Spring Conference will be held virtually on Thursday, May 9th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. It was formulated around the Department of Aging's initiative, Balance for Optimal Aging. We have a variety of speakers who are presenting on how to find balance in caregiving. Presentations include finding balance through a care plan, finding balance through fall prevention, and finding balance through brain health. We will be bringing back the Wheel of Names to select winners for gift cards generously donated by the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Upsilon Epsilon Omega Chapter, who are frequent sponsors of the caregiving conferences.
I'm excited to attend. How can our audience register to join the conference?
Those interested in the conference can contact the Caregiver Support Program at 410-887-4724 or email us at caregivers@baltimorecountymd.gov. Our wonderful staff can then provide a link for registration, and once they're registered, they'll receive a link to join us online.
What other resources are available for caregivers residing in Baltimore County?
There are many other resources available for caregivers to access. One includes our quarterly Caregiver Connection newsletter, which can be viewed on the county's website or in paper form. Caregivers can subscribe to the newsletter and read helpful articles, as well as learn about our upcoming events and conferences. We also produce Parenting the Next Generation newsletter and a resource flyer of local organizations and support groups for caregivers. The BCDA has other wonderful supportive programs that caregivers may be eligible for, and this is discussed during our one-to-one consultation with our caregiver specialist. In addition, we host a variety of speakers who educate caregivers on topics such as communication tips, self-care tips, meal planning, estate planning, and managing grief, and so much more. We offer these programs in person as well as online. We're always looking to update our resources and provide better services to our caregivers, so we always encourage caregiver feedback.
How can those watching contact the Caregiver Support Program to learn more information?
Again, they can contact the Caregiver Support Program at 410-887-4724, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4, or by email caregivers@baltimorecountymd.gov. They can also visit us on the Baltimore County Department of Aging website and enter caregivers in the search bar.
Kathleen, thank you for joining us today. You have been great and provided valuable resources.
Thank you so much for having me, Ethel, and I look forward to hearing from all the caregivers out there because we are here for you.
That's today's show. Thank you for spending your time with us. Please remember you can call the Department of Aging's information line called Maryland Access Point of Baltimore County or MAP at 410-887-2594 with questions pertaining to older adults and persons with disabilities. This show may also be viewed anytime on the internet at www.baltimorecountymd.gov/videos with open captioning. That brings us to the conclusion of this edition of The Time of Your Life, a National Mature Media Award winner about the services and contemporary topics that keep you in the know. Until next time.